And we are live. What's up, everybody? It is your boy Andrew Esquire here, and this is Legal Mindset. We teach you to be your own judge. You know, some days I think I'm gonna get a break. You know, I've streamed in the morning, which is you guys' evening. It's now the evening here in Bangkok, which is your next morning. And I'm like, I'm just gonna stream. I might do a chill. I'm like, maybe tonight is the night I do a chill Rumble stream where I'm just watching anime and chill. But no. Instead, I'm coming to you hot with some brand new news about a settlement in one of the big Disney cases, and also about a Bob Iger pay cut, some updates with the Proxy war, and so much more. There's a lot that I'm going to bring today, a lot of random news today. So I couldn't take a day off. I could not time it out. We're going to get it. We're going to get into it today. But really quick, what's up to everybody in the chat? And I give a quick shout out to Two Wheel Fun Plus, who was the first person to comment today. So welcome. And of course, this is live. We are not a premiere. We are indeed fresh and live. Now, real quick comment. I know that not everybody. And good morning. I see a lot of OGs in the house. Blonde Asian, Madman, Elizabeth, me, Bella Stella, Adriana. Good to see a lot of the OGs in the house today. Is this live? What's up? But yeah, they always give me a busy week. They literally cannot give me a break. But that's why I'm here, and that's why I do this, is because Disney is the only corporation which can give you constant news. So real quick, I got a haircut too, guys. If you didn't see, it's one of my new place. Still look like I'm about to invade the Sudetenland, but hey, it feels good to be fresh. Got a straight razor shave, which is pretty good. So I'm kind of clean here, feeling very clean, feeling fresh today. So definitely ready to get into it with you guys. Now let's see. I wanted to start with a little bit of comedy, and this is some off-topic comedy. This is not about Disney, but this is about the United Airlines thing. I don't know if you guys saw that video I posted that was involving the United Airlines scenario, saying that they're going to get rid of white dudes and they're going to put more people under affirmative action in the cockpit, in training, in the C-suite. Well, I saw this comedy bit here, and I also saw another thing that I'll show you in a second. But let's start with the comedy bit before we go anywhere further. Let's start with this, because at least we need to laugh first. So here's a little comedy bit on the United CEO, and let me make sure. Well, hold on. I think make sure I got audio. I'm not boomering it today. Now we got audio. All right, let's go.
CEO of United Airlines last month. The CEO, he announced of all the hiring for all the new pilots that are coming up this year, all the hiring for the new pilots, the main focus is going to be diversity. What? Diversity? Not the best pilots you can find? The ones with the most hours of experience? Haven't you done it before? Nope, diversity. I don't know about you, but I'm sick and tired of flying all the time with these white pilots landing safely and on time. Boring.
So coming in hot there, Rob Schneider coming in hot with some comedy at their expense. And I actually had to check this because I didn't believe it. Libs of TikTok posted this, and well, I didn't know whether to believe it or not, but maybe or maybe not. There's a certain picture of the CEO of United right here on the right. That may or may not be the CEO of United, who's taking race and gender into account. Just throwing that out there. The comedy, guys, does not cease. It is 24/7 here on the Legal Mindset. You can't make this shit up. It's really too ridiculous. Oh God. But while you guys are filing in, and we've got already 268 of you, please smash the like button on the way in. The stream from this morning, I think we're getting suppressed in the algorithm or something, but we only had about like 250 max on both this time, but we're already passing that, way flying past that here on Rumble and on Locals. And by the way, shout out to Rumble. I see you, Argent Sable over there, Lile and Danielle. Good to see you over there. And also Locals is up as well. Yeah, it is just too hilarious. The jokes indeed do write themselves. All right. Now let me show you something that is a little bit funnier. And this is one of those mods. You know, I talked recently about mods and how the mods are getting insane and how the companies are trying to crack down on mods. Well, I don't know if you saw this. Now, this is a little bit graphic, but this had me rolling. This was, I believe, Mortal Kombat mods that took characters from Disney here. I don't know if you guys have seen this. This is absolutely savage, and it had me rolling. Watch this. The little guy. The mods are just getting too out of control. But when the little guy comes up and the little guy, the scout comes out blasting, I just lost it, guys. I mean, that kind of made my day. That was like a happy moment of my day. Was, okay, you know what? If they make this Disney Plus, maybe I would be down for it. Maybe it'd be okay. I just about died seeing the little guy just coming out capping. Too good. Oh, that really got me. That got me in the mood. If you only had a merit score for fatalities. Oh God, smash the like button if you're here for flawless victories and fatalities. Okay. I'll post a link to that in the chat. Okay, sorry, I closed the link. I usually close links when I'm done watching them, but that one was just too savage. I'll post the link here to this in the chat so you guys can do it. I'll post it on YouTube and Rumble so you guys can enjoy that one. Share it with your friends. It's a funny one. A true scout is always prepared. Yes. Oh God. All right. So let's start with the settlement, okay? Because I want to start with that. So the settlement is in the TSG lawsuit. So in case you guys don't know, what I want to start with here today is a little reminder about the TSG lawsuit. Now, the TSG lawsuit was the lawsuit, and I'll show it right over here, and let me zoom in, between TSG Entertainment Finance and 20th Century Fox, which was purchased by Walt Disney. And the accusation it was that when Walt Disney purchased the company, they started some Hollywood accounting, and through their essentially screwing over of TSG, TSG lost millions of dollars. And they literally used, this case literally used the term Hollywood accounting. So read this. The pejorative term Hollywood accounting refers to the opaque and creative methods frequently employed by major television and film studios to cheat those who share in the profits of a television series or film out of their fully contracted for shares. So right off the bat, I want to be clear. This lawsuit called Disney and Fox cheaters. The practice has unfortunately become ubiquitous amongst major Hollywood studios, with a recent report from CNN Business describing the tactic of Hollywood accounting as among the most fanciful fictions ever devised in Tinseltown. Even by those standards, this case and the crimes and the wrongs of Disney and Fox stand out. It is a chilling example of how two Hollywood behemoths with long and shameful, or behemoths, With long and shameful history of Hollywood accounting, Fox and Disney have tried to use nearly every trick in the Hollywood accounting playbook to deprive TSG, the financier who in good faith invested more than $3.3 billion with them, out of hundreds of millions of dollars. Okay? TSG financed Avatar: The Way of Water, Bohemian Rhapsody, Deadpool, Deadpool 2, X-Men, Days of Future Past, Logan, Dawn of Planet of the Apes, The Martian, The Grand Budapest Hotel, Jojo Rabbit, The Banshees of Inisherin, Hidden Figures, The Shape of Water, and Empire of Light. It financed more than 140 Fox films since the parties began their relationship. They had a revenue sharing agreement, which Disney screwed them over on. So they sued them, saying that Disney did not give them enough money. Disney actually used bad accounting to get rid of their money. And in fact, this got worse under Disney. Fox may have been paying a little bit low, whatever, but Disney was really the catalyst for them getting screwed over on their deal. Well, we now have, in this case, a settlement. This case is settled. I'll tell you what that means in a second after I get these super chats. YouTube is purposely slowing down videos and lagging people to push them to premium and to turn off ad block. Implemented a few days ago, lawsuit. I'll look into that. Maybe I'll talk to my fellow YouTubers about it. I got to do more research on that one. I am not a YouTube attorney. I am a attorney who happens to be on YouTube, not specializing in YouTube law. But could there be? Sure. Could there be? Sure, but who brings the lawsuit is the question. Also, Tank Rat, give the 20 Legal Mindset memberships. Thank you so much, Tank Rat, coming up big like a G. And let me give a shout out to those people that got hooked up by Tank Rat. Adriana, Alan Sword, Jason Knight, Jefferson Post, Crew Glove, Jack Falstaff, Jake Thompson is there in the house. Eddie Bruv, Amazing Disgrace, Felzu, Elena Ariane Theron, Blue Sky, Pino Marcos, Lux Disaster, Manny Dunham, Texas Forever, Donna J, F Fighter, Anita Stack, and Donovan Raum. All you guys say thank you to Tank Rat. He just hooked y'all up. I just said your name. You got hooked up by Tank Rat. So give your shout out there and give much love to Tank Rat hanging over there in the UAE. And also give a shout out to Is This Live, matching 20 for 20, going hard in the paint. Monica, Asmit Panda, Trigger Warning, Todd Wright, Chuck Copeland, Hale P, Wooksy, A Random Fawn, Hush Wolf, Sniper, Dragon Rider, Paladin Phil, who else? Kenneth, Fordo, Claude, Opus, Gary, Sharon, Dusty, Dina, Sunwarper. All you guys say thank you to Is This Live. So now 20 for 20. You guys are going green. We are the greenest chat on YouTube. Thank you, Opus. Very true. BLM, the Base Legal Mindset, is the most green chat on YouTube. Literally, guys, I'm seeing a wall of green. This is great. Make sure you have in your settings turn gift memberships on. I mean, the awesome thing is that there's only I'm only seeing like a handful of you that do not have memberships at this point. So make sure in your settings you've got that turned on so you can accept those memberships from these very, very generous individuals who are really hooked it up. Thank you, Is This Live, and thank you, Tank Rat. You guys are definitely super fans. Appreciate y'all. So what I wanted to get to with this thing is, okay, now we've got news that they have settled this lawsuit. So they've gone, and I'll show this right here. They have settled the lawsuit. Now, I've seen other people cover this, but frankly, I think a lot of non-lawyers have covered this, and they don't know how big of a deal this is. Because here's the thing. Disney is settling a lawsuit, not just where they lose money, and they are losing millions on this. I guarantee you that this was a big settlement. We'll talk about that in a second. The exact number is confidential, but I guarantee you it's big. I'll tell you why in a second. But the bigger deal here is that Disney was called a cheater. They were accused of cooking the books, and they didn't fight that claim. If you are a company and you've been called dishonest, your brand has been besmirched, you would want to fight that claim. And what's beyond that is that Disney knows they're going to have trouble financing. They know that people don't want to lend the money. They're not putting out good products. They're going to have trouble with other financiers to come through, but they're having to agree that, yeah, you know what, we settled, which means we kind of are admitting guilt here. Disney fights cases. Disney has all these lawyers in different jurisdictions to fight cases. That's what they do. They slow you down with procedure. They go, left and right to drown you in procedure to win, right? They try to drag it through federal court, state court, drag you around to multiple states. But the fact that they bent the knee, and they bent the knee quickly, mind you, this lawsuit started and stopped in a shorter period of time than the Disney lawsuits with Florida. They could have already settled the Florida lawsuits by now. This was started after the Florida lawsuits, and it's ended before. And there's other lawsuits that have been going on with Disney that are still out there. They're not done with their lawsuits. There's other Disney lawsuits still hanging out there. But this is the one they decide to settle on? Yeah, this is the reason why I think this one is so bad is because of what it alleges. Do you think any financier in their right mind is going to want to engage with Disney on a favorable rate? No, they're going to say, look, if I'm doing business with Disney, I'm going to increase my interest rate. I'm going to increase my terms. I'm going to require more from Disney in terms of disclosure, in terms of financial information. So when people are financing Disney films, they're going to require more. They're going to require guarantees. This is going to screw over Disney for decades to come based on their dishonesty, or at least as long as Bob Iger is in the leadership seat, because all of this happened under Iger. Now, they're going to blame Chapek a little bit because obviously some of this did happen under Chapek, but this is really Iger. Iger never left the office. So let me read through this. Disney and 20th Century Studios have settled a breach of contract from film financier TSG, which accused them of withholding profits and self-dealing. Self-dealing is fraud, ladies and gentlemen. This is a type of fraud. So just to understand, it's saying right now, they settled a claim accusing them of essentially corporate fraud to boost subscriber numbers. I don't know why this thing is moving like a crazy person. And for their streaming platforms. Does not like it when I want to highlight something. I don't know why it does that. Lawyers for both sides notified the court on Jan 5th of a deal involving the dueling suits. Terms of the agreement were not disclosed. I guarantee you it is for millions, because if you go back and we look at what they asked for, let's check that out for a second. Still got this pulled up. There we go. Yeah, there you go. So if you look, go all the way down, you ask for the prayer for relief, right? Monetary damages, punitive damages, and all other attorneys' fees and costs. But they were alleging, talking about some of these films, that they were owed hundreds of millions of dollars. So it wasn't just a little bit, it was a lot. It was a lot. Like even just looking at one film was 40 million. And this is something that apparently happened on many films. So just The Shape of Water alone, they got cheated out of millions. So I guarantee you this is a big settlement in this case. And you can see here, it says that the case centered on an independent audit of 3 films, including Best Picture, Shape of Water, which caused it to not have enough to invest in Avatar, so they didn't get appropriate returns. TSG sued 20th Century Fox for breach of contract, and Disney induced the breach. Disney, in turn, filed its own suit seeking a court order that lived up to the terms of the deal with its long-term financing partner, which invested $3.3 billion with a B into a bunch of Disney movies. While disputes over Hollywood accounting are common. They're typically handled behind closed doors and don't make it to court. The fact that they had to bring this in court means it is bad. The studio ignored a standing agreement with FX that calculated license fees tied to domestic box office and did a secret side deal for a fraction of what the parties found was fair value. There was also a big change in the pay window. That is when the movies were distributed. So they were shuttling money to their streaming platforms. Disney, all Disney said was the matter has been resolved. TSG did not respond, which means they probably have an NDA, probably can't say anything about it, and they're being extra safe, right? They're just saying the matter's resolved, which means Iger in Disney paid out huge for this. There's no way they did this. They could have settled this case without it. And you can see here, we have the settlement document. This is by Daniel Petronelli, who's actually the attorney for Fox and Disney here. Attorney for Fox and Disney. Here's his information, right? It's all public. He's a lawyer. Located in, of course, Los Angeles, California. The petitioner was TSG, 20th Century Fox. Request for dismissal with prejudice, which means it cannot be refiled, which is what you do if you have a settlement. Then you see entire action or causes of action. The court did not waive court fees and costs. So each party is probably paying their own costs. You have Daniel Petronelli and John Berlinski. John Berlinski was the attorney for Scarlett Johansson and also represented TSG. And that was filed with the court today. So you got this, or recently. So you got this filing made recently, which is pretty big. To me, guys, what I hope to see here is I hope to see more people after TSG has settled. What does this mean? It means blood in the water. Okay. And I said this when the TSG lawsuit hit. Financiers, it's blood in the water time. Disney is not making you any money in 2023 or 2024. You need to look at your books and say, let's get that payout. Let's get that settlement. Because TSG is just one of many financiers. Other financiers can look at this and say, you know what? Disney's not paying us out. Let's go get that money. Let's go get that settlement. I think it's time for them to get their money. And you better believe this is not going to be good for Disney stock. This is not going to be good for Disney appreciation. Leprechaun Gold, good for this channel, though, with a $10 super chat. Thank you so much for the Japanese Shiba dancing. Appreciate that. Very much appreciate Japanese stuff, but also Shibas. I do like Shibas. They're very adorable. Also, a quick shout out to everybody on Rumble and on Locals as well. There's almost 100 people on Rumble. Shout out to you, Base Chads over there. And over here on YouTube, there's almost 700 people, which is awesome. Please smash that like button. We are only at 240 likes. Let's get up to 350. Let's get to 350, guys. Come on. If the Loch Ness Monster gets 350, I want to get 350 too. Okay, so let's move over to Bob Iger losing money. Now, before we do anything, I want to watch this video. This is a video on the Disney share price having dropped. Now, this video is over, it's like a month-ish old, but it still has a lot of the relevant facts. So I think it remains pretty good. So we're going to watch this one real quick. It's a minute and 45 seconds on Disney and it dropping over 50% in the value of the company in 2 years. Let's watch here.
We're taking a look at Disney. The guy who finances Alexandra Canal has the details.
Let me before we do this, let me pump the audio here. I do appreciate that audio booster. Thank you so much, Afix, for providing that. So let's do this one more time with a boost.
Disney, the guy who finances Alexandra Canal has the details.
Hi, Josh. Well, you don't need me to tell you that the Magic Kingdom is in disarray. You can just take a look at the stock price. Shares of Disney down over 50% over.
So this is the one big thing I want to point out here, guys, is a lot of people, and we're actually going to see this. We're going to watch another video later. Yeah, that booster really works, right? The audio booster is like fantastic. The audio is really low without it. But anyways, this stock drop is huge. But what you see a lot of Disney shills do is they will only show you the stock price for the last year. So what they like to show is they like to show this here on the right, you know, where you see 2023 right here, you see the little mountain right there, the little jump in 2023. They're like, oh, look, we're not doing that bad because we're kind of up from like a local regression. And they cut out 2022 completely. They'll show you 2023 without 2022. So they try to make it look less bad. But if you look at it in context, it's bad. It's real bad. I mean, they were riding a high coming out of 2022, and this is absolutely abysmal performance for a company. And yes, guys, I know some people said thank you for warning about the booster. Yeah, I don't want to blow your eardrums out, but I do want to make sure you guys can hear, because I know a lot of people have trouble hearing YouTube. And I once again, big shout out to Aphex who gave me this applet that had an audio booster. Really worked well. Appreciate that. Big Raj for 199 Canadian dropping the thumbs up, the red thumbs up. Appreciate you, and appreciate all those that come out to support the channel. Tank Rat, Leprechaun Gold, is this live? All you guys, appreciate y'all. Let's continue.
The past 2 years and down around 12% since the return of Bob Iger nearly 1 year ago. Iger served as Disney CEO.
See what they try to do? They just did it here. Do you see what they did there? Real quick, let's go back, right? So here's the longer tail and here's the shorter tail. So they try to show this like Bob Iger sort of situation where obviously it doesn't look as bad because the top end, it maxes out at 110 versus 180. So the drop isn't as bad if you just look at Iger. But here's the thing. Here's what I don't like about this, and I think is disingenuous. This is not true. Bob Iger never left. Bob Iger was always there. So to say his return, the boy never left. He was taking 2 showers a day the entire time Chapek was there. So a little bit disingenuous. Let's continue.
The return of Bob Iger nearly 1 year ago. Iger served as Disney CEO from 2005 to 2020, and he handpicked Bob Chapek as his successor. But Chapek's nearly 2-year reign was a challenging one. Disney's parks business was clobbered during the pandemic, and in Chapek's final quarter, the company posted revenue and earnings that missed expectations, while its direct-to-consumer.
Well, they were deceiving people with what those were going to be, right? They were overestimating and over predicting. And wow, were they really losing money. Look at the direct to consumer losing 1.5 billion. I mean, that is just nuts. That is just nuts.
Streaming segment saw a whopping $1.5 billion loss. And then less than 2 weeks after that disastrous report, Iger was back in that coveted CEO seat. But his surprise return has not brought back the magic that shareholders had initially expected.
Oh no, we're so shocking revelation that he didn't immediately save the company. Shocking.
With Disney still facing some key challenges like a decline in the traditional.
Okay, so I want you guys to pay attention to these. We're going to read all of these at the end and go through these as whether or not these are the real challenges. Okay, so I want us to see whether or not these challenges are accurate and they're an accurate description or whether they're not.
TV business, the possible sale of linear assets like ABC and cable channels like FX, Freeform, and National Geographic. We've also seen weak subscriber numbers for streaming, coupled with a tough advertising environment and slowing demand for its parks business. And then, of course, the overarching question of succession, as Disney is still trying to launch new initiatives like an ESPN.
Okay, so let's look at this real quick. Actually, let me go back here. Okay. So according to them, there's a decline in traditional TV business. I think that's true, but part of that decline in traditional TV business is because Disney was screwing over its partners. They kept trying, like with ESPN, they kept trying to bring ESPN on streaming while still not giving those same people that are paying for TV access to ESPN. So with decline in traditional TV business, which by the way makes them a significant part of their revenue, that those linear assets, that linear service is still a huge part of their revenue, but yet with their partners in that area, they always are trying to screw them over. So part of that is self-inflicted on Disney, and it's a self-imposed challenge. The sale of their assets, well, that's on Disney because they are the ones that produce shitty IP, and now they've got to sell them because there's nothing on those on that IP, on that asset they bought. Now with streaming, that's the same thing. There's nothing on Disney Plus that is making people want to buy Disney Plus. There's nothing that had that initial bump of Mando or whatever else is on Disney Plus. And people have kind of gone through the classic stuff. They've seen all the classic stuff. So they're like, okay, I've already been there and seen that. So, well, what's next? Like, what do you got for me? It's not too much here. It's not there's not that much that's available for Disney Plus, and they're not looking good on streaming. I don't know about ad environment. I think the bigger issue there are the cultural issues. What we see for Disney in terms of ad environment is what they're advertising their company as is something that people don't want to buy. It's not about them running ads. It's about, well, when they run ads, they're just falling into a brick wall because they're advertising things that people don't want. When I go out in Bangkok and I see them advertising Wish on the metro here, which probably cost them tens of millions of dollars to advertise on the metro, like on the main metro in like the middle of the city, I'm like, well, that's a waste of money. You're just kind of pissing away that ad revenue. Slowing demand in the parks. Maybe people do not want to bring their children around men in dresses. Maybe that's not appropriate for young boys and girls. Maybe you should keep that for the after hours drag party. Maybe that should not be at the actual park itself. Secession, that is Bob Iger's problem. He failed to name a true successor, and he literally went out and sabotaged his successor when he didn't listen to him. Bob Iger, in a petty way, went out there and sabotaged Chapek when he felt that Chapek didn't listen to him and got out of line. So so these things, maybe they're accurate, but there's not enough nuance here. So real quick, let me get these. Is This Live says, it's worth noting that Vanguard, BlackRock, and many other institutional investors bought up huge chunks of their current stock at $140 or more. They are out billions of dollars. Is This Live? Pay attention to this. We're going to talk about the money that Iger lost personally here, what his personal loss is, and how he is out of millions now. A lot of that has to do with the devaluation of the company. Andrew Foss says it's actually worse. Their highest stock price was the 12th of March, 2021 at 197. It's been bare from there. Yeah, and I know that was peak COVID, and I know people will kind of rule out like the COVID era, but I'm sorry, you do got to look at the peaks, and that was a peak. And frankly, they have not recovered that peak or even came close to recovering that peak. So yeah, I do think we do consider that almost $200, and now you're down into the double digits. It's looking bad. And look, $50 a share could be real in the future for Disney, very real for Disney, particularly if criminal charges and when criminal charges come down the pike. Hopefully, by the way, whenever DeSantis decides to come back to Florida, I do hope that he comes back and kind of kicks the AG into speed and says, hey, let's get those things filed now. I think that DeSantis will be better off, not to get too political or distract this, but I think he'll be better off handling the Florida lawsuit or the prosecution of Disney in Florida than he will on the national campaign trail. Just my personal opinion, though. Nicholas Atkins says, could the settlement with TSG be closer to the billion mark because the vast amount of movies that were involved? Does the settlement get marked down in the quarterly reports? No, not specifically. However, they would have to include it somewhere. So they have to include like lawsuit settlements under some line item, but they won't say which one is TSG. They don't have to break it out. This is actually a really good question, because I know what you guys are thinking. You're like, oh, well, let's just find out which one is TSG from the financials. And you guys are smart. You guys are really smart asking these questions, Nick. This is a good question. But they don't have to put them separately. They don't have to do line item budgeting. That's not required in their financial disclosures. They can do it as a group, as a bulk group. For example, they could do it as legal and administrative costs and just throw a bunch of stuff in there. It's like a gumbo of settlements, because remember, they're settling with people for other things as well. Just it's usually stuff like personal injury, wrongful death, damages, that sort of thing that they're settling. And they can just toss all of that together, every single settlement. The Scarlett Johansson settlement, they toss that in there with the TSG settlement, and they say, oh, look at all these settlements we have. We can't tell you which one's which, but we've settled. In fact, I would encourage them, if they want to start trying to settle some cases, some other cases, they should do it now. Just hide that. But that's millions of dollars that they're losing there. Now, let me bring you over to what they say is where they say you should do with Disney. Now, this was 2 months ago, mind you. So let me play this.
Hack on the media giant amid some of these hurdles, but there has been some optimism on the street. The stock currently has 30 buy ratings, 8.
So they were saying that you should buy Disney like 2 months ago. I'll leave you guys to decide whether you think Disney is a buy, Disney is a sell, or Disney is a hold. I'll leave it up to you guys. This is not a financial channel. Hashtag not financial advice. Definitely not financial advice. But 2 months ago, a lot of people, and I remember a lot of folks were calling Disney a buy. Let's see. What else here? Wait, hold on. Someone just sent me something funny. Hold on. I gotta check this out. Is this what I think it is? No way. So thank you to Floral from Under the Rock, who just sent me this one. This is actually kind of funny. Let me share the audio on this. So let me play this here.
You didn't say the magic word.
That is actually great. That's from throwback to
Say the magic word.
Jurassic Park. Throwback to Jurassic Park. That was a classic from Jurassic Park. Thank you so much, Floral. Freaking hilarious. I love you guys. By the way, almost 800 of us in the chat now, so make sure to smash the like button. And I guess let me confirm this. I'm kind of seeing it. Which streaming time do you prefer? So let's say AM EST or PM EST. I'm seeing a lot more folks on the AM stream, so I'm thinking it's AM, but I'm going to put a poll out here of which streaming time you guys prefer. So please vote on that. I'm doing a lot of days. I do both. I do doubles, but I try to sometimes do different types of content at different times. Maybe, in the PM EST, do stuff that's more light, more fun, and then maybe do some more hard-hitting facts in the morning, like the news. So the next thing I've got for you here is his compensation cut. So this is where I got this from. It's from Variety, which says Disney CEO Bob Iger saw his compensation hit $3.6 million in 2023, down from $45.9 million. So this is not a clickbait title. I know a lot of people are like, it's clickbait, Andrew, you put a clickbait title. Nope. His compensation has dropped by millions. Now, how has it dropped by millions? It's dropped not on the pay side, the direct pay, the base salary. That's pretty stable. What has hurt him is his stock awards and his stock options, as well as his cash bonuses and other compensations. So what he's getting less of is he is less incentivized with stock, other compensation, cash bonuses, because Disney is not doing as well. They're not performing. So he's not getting as big of a cash bonus. And his stock is worth less. It's not worthless, but it's worth less. It's worth less. So in that contract, his contract runs through 2026. So it'll be very interesting if his income continues to drop in 2024 because the stock drops even further. And frankly, a drop in the stock is going to cost him more than anything else. It's going to cost him more than anything else. And by the way, guys, always notice look at the huge percentage difference. His base salary is only 800,000, but he gets 10 million in stock option awards, 16.1 million in stock awards, 10 million in stock options, 2.14 in cash bonuses, and 2.48 in other compensation. So he's getting a ton of compensation in other methods other than a base salary. So pretty huge compensation there. Now, he never left the company. He was there as executive chairman. He was still there as a consultant. And now, so you have him losing this money. You also have a huge second piece here, which is the board of directors of Disney has rejected the candidates nominated by quote unquote activist investors. Quote unquote activist investors. So who do they mean? And by the way, activist investors is a dirty word. It's used by people who are trying to shame folks. Right? They're trying to shame them in being activist investors. They're activists, meaning only that they care about the stock price. Speaking about caring about the stock price, Mexican Iron Man here with a chalupa and a $4.99 super chat says if Bob was on time, was on performance pay, he would get 33 cents like I did for my stock dividend ETF. This guy, damn it, Bob. Damn it. It's very true. It's very true. It's been a while, Mike. It's been a while since I've had you on. I will send you on Twatters. I will send you a link in case you haven't had too much tequila, and you can come on. I will slide into your DMs like the Lonely Housewives of South Carolina, and I'm not meaning Nikki Haley. What's up, Mike? All right. So, also real quick, another 20 memberships from Is This Live? How dare I miss that? How dare I almost miss that? Is This Live with another 20 memberships? And your boy's got to read some of these memberships out because this is absolutely Chad-like. From Jimmy Naylor, Flameth, Bjorn, Weasley, Bog77, Noob, Ash, Marco, Eric, Jessica, Lynn, DD, M. Hampton, Hypnotic Rapture, Carmen, Reagan, Greg, Thomas E., Nicolin, Tippy Tail McKitty. All you guys say thank you to Is This Live. Because Is This Live has hooked it up with 40 people this time. So altogether, we have 60 new members today, 60 new Chads and Stacys in the chat. Yeah, and by the way, I'm still laughing. On the Nikki Haley comment, I'm laughing when she thought she was in second place, but she was really in third. Mwah. Mwah. That was great. That little clip is perfect. It's perfect. All right. You're always on the road, Mexican Iron Man. He just wrote me back. He's driving right now. All right. So there's also this news about the activist investors. So Tuesday, the same day that they discover that his pay is down. Oh, I like that. Brian Rocher said misworded. It should be performance investor. And yeah, no, they want them to perform. They want them to make more money. That's a very good comment. That's a very good, very insightful, very insightful. So Disney's board of directors disclosed its recommended slate of 12 nominees in the preliminary proxy materials. They officially rejected the candidates nominated by investor Nelson Peltz Trian Management. In addition, they recommended shareholders not vote for 3 candidates floated by Blackwell's Capital. Now, hold on. Who is Blackwell's Capital? We're going to continue with this article, but we have to go over here to an old article. This is an article from a little bit like a couple weeks ago. I think it was January 3rd or so. Let me check. January 3rd. So this is from a week ago. 2 weeks ago. Sorry, 2 weeks ago. So Blackwell's Capital, another Disney shareholder, announced it nominated 3 candidates: Jessica Schell, the co-creator of Tribeca, Craig Hatkoff, TaskRabbit founder Leah Sullivan for directors. They slammed Peltz's reprise of a contrived campaign that is disconnected from the needs. So they provide their own people they thought were reasonable. But yet Disney went and said, actually, Blackwell's, F you. We're not picking your people. So Blackwell's gave Iger an out, and Iger literally spat in this investor's face. That shows you how much they care about their investors. That shows you how much they care about people who have big money in this corporation. They don't even care what they say. They don't even want them to back that. And mind you, Blackwell's was against Peltz. So why wouldn't they just bring in one of their candidates at least, so they could say, hey, look, we're assembling this team. Now, a lot of people are saying that they're saying, hey, Peltz is going to lose here. That the proxy battle is over. It's a long shot, and they're really poo-pooing it. But I want to tell you why this proxy war is a big thing. But first, let's listen to the Disney shills before I counter them. This guy we're going to listen to right here, he is the biggest Billy Beta out there. I think he's got the testosterone level of a 13-year-old girl. You're going to hear right now talking about the Peltz proxy battle. So just listen up. This is from some Disney shill media.
Disney's boardroom battle. Today is the deadline for Disney
boost it again.
shareholders to nominate directors to the board. Now, the House of Mouse is gaining the support of a significant shareholder. Activist investor Value Act Capital Management reaching an agreement with Disney earlier this week to support the company's board nominees at its upcoming shareholder meeting. Now, this comes as Disney fends off a proxy battle with Nelson Peltz. We want to bring in Doug Kreutz. He's TD Cowen Managing Director of Media.
Here's Doug right now. This chick has a higher testosterone level than Doug does right now. I mean, it's real bad. It's real bad. Now, what happened here, to be clear, before he steps off, is Value Act, which is a large investor in Disney, decided to back Iger's slate, which means there's more votes in the Iger camp. There's a lot of votes in the Iger camp. Now, does that mean that he's got enough? Does that mean that Iger is going to get over the hurdle? Well, no, it does not. But what they're going to say here is, oh, well, it's going to make it more difficult. That's what Billy the Beta is going to say. But just to explain before Billy Beta starts talking here.
Media and entertainment. Doug, it's great to see you. So let's talk about the fact that Value Act is now on the side, or I should say Disney now has Value Act on board. To what extent do you think this is going to help Iger fend off some of the pressure that we're seeing from Peltz?
Well, I don't know that I think he needed a lot of help. I mean, Peltz and his group, they don't have that much of a share position. Disney's a huge company. And so
this guy, you can tell he's standing hard for Iger, because he's like, well, I don't think they needed any help. Disney's a big company. It's just immediately off the bat, you can tell whose camp he's in. It's immediate. He doesn't even try to be objective about it. And that's what's kind of disingenuous about these folks. And I would look into TD Cowen and what interests they have. Right. I mean, I'm sure that if I looked into that real close, let me just type in here. I'm pretty sure they've got some interest in Disney in one way, shape, or form.
It'd be very difficult for Peltz to amass enough shares to have a chance of really winning a vote. Obviously, if he could get other people to go along with him, that would help. Disney getting Value Act to support their view. The optics of it certainly are good for Disney. It says, hey, here's another major investor with interest in these sorts of things that believes that.
See what they did here? Guys, watch. You see what they're doing here? They're showing this very short timeline. Look at the numbers they have here. Look at the range, right? What did we watch earlier? We watched that the peak, and the earlier super chat said it. The peak was almost at 200. Look at the range they're showing here, 93 to 89, right? They intentionally don't back out. They keep it on like the daily. They're using dailies here. This is daily stock price here. This is intentional. This is framing. They can choose this. They can choose which one they want to show. Using a 4-day timeline for a major corporation is ridiculous. It's preposterous. They're trying to pretend, oh, look, it's a stable company. If we zoom out, and let's zoom out here real quick. Let's go to like an honest chart, because we want to be honest here and show what's really going on. It's this, right? This is the honest chart. This is the honest chart. Up here at 200, all the way down here in the 90s right now. So up at 200, down here in the 90s. This is the honest chart. This is the chart that they should be showing because it's the accurate chart. It's the chart that predicts their more long-term patterns. And it's clear if you look at it on a long-term pattern scale, they're in a bear cycle. But of course, they don't want to look at that. They rarely even use the 1 year. But they've been using this 5-day chart. Oh, look, it's the 5-day chart. Look, guys, they're doing so great on the 5-day chart. Look at this. It's only up from here, baby. Only up from here. It's all up for Disney. Once again, do not be bamboozled by statistics. What is it? There's lies, damn lies, and statistics. Do not be bamboozled by these folks because this is just a basic trick, and it's for very, very low IQ. It's trying to pull the wool on people that are very low IQ. But your boy's not going to let you fall for that. Your boy's not going to let you fall for that.
Our view is the correct one to help dissuade maybe anybody else from saying, hey, maybe Peltz is right. At the end of the day, I don't think it would have mattered that much if they had gotten Value Act or not. I think Peltz winning a proxy fight was a very long shot to begin with, and it's an even longer shot now.
Well, then what can be done to appease?
So he's not understanding why you do a proxy fight and the point behind a proxy fight. It's not always to win. Understand this. And this guy is a little low IQ here. A proxy fight is not always to win. It's not always to get your board members on. A proxy fight is a threat. A proxy fight is a threat. There's more. Like Nelson Peltz has not used all of his cards yet. He's got more. It's not the only thing yet in his Rolodex. And when it gets really spicy with an activist investor, yeah, it gets bad. Thank you, Leprechaun Gold, for the $10 super sticker, the Shiba laughing. Appreciate that. And appreciate your support of the channel. Let's continue.
Is not only Peltz, but also activist investors in general here.
Once again, you can tell what type of network they are and what type of position they are by using the term activist investors. It's the same as when the leftist media, the liberal media, uses the term "Don't Say Gay" bill instead of the Parental Rights and Education Act. "Don't Say Gay" bill is just as accurate as calling it the anti-grooming bill, right? But there's a certain political position that decides to use that. So you can always tell what the slant is. And Yahoo Finance, by the way, we've on this channel gone through a lot of Yahoo Finance, and they are very much in the tank for Disney. Yahoo Finance has consistently taken wildly pro-Disney outlooks and positions, which are just, they boggle the mind.
Well, I don't know that you need to appease Peltz. I mean, he's free to go buy shares and say what he wants.
So once again, saying you don't have to at all think about the considerations of a major shareholder who wants your stock to go up. That is not what you want to hear. What you want to hear from a corporation is that they care about all of their shareholders, even their minority shareholders. Because why would you want to invest in a corporation if they don't care about making money and they don't care about the little guy? That's not what you want to hear.
But he doesn't have any more power or rights than that. He can make a lot of noise in the press. It's a distraction for Disney. It's not something they necessarily want. But, the sort of just say no defense can be a pretty effective one if you're willing to, sort of turn your ears off and not worry about what people are saying. And I think, Disney would like this to go away, right? They've got real issues with their business that they need to deal with and not be distracted.
Okay, better chart, but it's still deceptive because look where it starts. It starts at a high and then it ends over here. So it's like, all right, 120, not 180. It starts at 120 at a high. And they're like, oh, look, we can get back over here. Look, we're so high. Very deceptive in the way they're doing this, in the time frames joining. They're going to a monthly, right? Very deceptive.
The fact that some of the people involved in this are former Disney people makes it even a little sort of stickier from a PR standpoint. But again, at the end of the day, I just don't think Peltz has the juice here to force Disney to do anything.
So do you think it's just been a total distraction then? It sounds like here for Disney, but what about for shareholders? Has this hurt shareholders then at least over the last couple of months?
It really hasn't helped shareholders. I don't know if it's hurt shareholders. Again, I think Disney, Bob Iger's a pretty focused.
I somehow doubt this. I somehow strongly doubt this. Like saying that he doesn't know any of this. I'm pressing X to doubt. X in the chat. X in the chat to doubt. Drop a rat in the chat if you feel this guy's got it's got something tied in there with Disney. There's some sort of connection to Disney. I want to see some rats or some X's in the chat because this is sus.
This person, to the extent this is a distraction, he's probably not going to let it be that much of a distraction.
So look at that. He says market perform, price target 94, right? For Disney. So bullish on Disney.
They're focused on doing what they can do to, turn the business around, which, really involves figuring out what they're going to do with their linear networks and also fixing their content production pipeline, which has, underperformed the last couple of years relative to where it had been historically. I think neither of those things are issues that have easy solutions that I think Peltz can really
see. But here's the thing that's deceptive. Okay, so they're breaking down, and this is what Disney keeps doing. And guys, please pay attention to this. Pay attention to it on my channel. Pay attention to it on Valiant Renegades channel. Pay attention to it on WW Pro's channel. Pay attention to it when Mexican Iron Man is mowing the lawn in Seedy Creek. This, and they keep doing this. This is something consistent. They always show you the revenues. They never show you the profits. Let me say one more time. They always show you the revenues. They never show you the profit. This has nothing to do with the profitability of these segments. They're showing you, oh, look, Disney Plus is making so much revenue, but it has no idea how much that costs. And what we saw was actually Disney Plus was losing $1.5 billion in the past years. So if Disney Plus is costing 10 billion or 11 billion, it doesn't matter that they're making 9 billion. So the fact that they continue to present these numbers, now I know this is Yahoo Finance, right? And I know it's not Disney, but it is it's pushed by Disney and Disney Shills. Mexican Iron Man says here, show me the losses, the freaking Wall Street moron. Here's my stock target. Chapek at $175 a share. Oh man. Yeah. So the profitability is off here because guess what? Experiences is more profitable for them than Disney Plus. And ESPN is even more profitable than overall the segment of Disney Plus. So this is very deceptive. So don't let these Disney shills fool you.
Please. Help with. To a large extent, these are industry-wide issues. It's not just Disney that's dealing with this.
See, look at this guy. He could not, if he put Iger's popcorn in his mouth, he could not be more of a Disney shill right now. Oh, it's not a Disney problem. Disney doesn't have any Disney. This guy is saying that Disney does not have any Disney specific problems, that all of Disney's problems are industry wide. That's what he just said. That Disney's problems are industry wide. Why are the other folks doing all right? Why did you guys lose money last year? Why did you not take the top slot? Is it industry wide or is it just you? Is it just you? Why is it that foreign productions are doing fine? Why is anime and manga doing fine? Or is it just you? Is it just you guys? Let me know. Why is Netflix making money? What's going on there? Right? What's going on there? Industry wide. Come on, man.
It's Warner, it's Paramount, it's Comcast. They're all sort of in the same boat. The economics of linear are breaking, and the economics of streaming are still not there. I tend to think the answer is to reconstitute the bundle. To
reconstitute the bundle. I don't know. Okay, so trying to show them that, oh look, everybody's down. Paramount's down. WB's down. Amazon is down. Netflix is up. Why? Well, that's weird. That's weird. Real quick, why is Netflix up? Well, that's just odd. Why Netflix is up? That's just odd right there.
And your bundle is obviously dying, but if you can reconstitute a streaming bundle with everybody's content, I think that's something that consumers would embrace, because it would sort of relieve them of the problem of, which streaming services do I buy to get the content I want at a time when the prices of all these services are going up.
So what that would require, understand what this guy is saying is, what you need to do is a streaming bundle where everybody's packaged together. So Paramount Plus, Hulu, ESPN, whatever, everybody is together. Everything is in one bundle. You get Comcast stuff and Disney stuff, same bundle. That's not going to happen. Number one, Disney does not play nice with others. They do not. You saw what happened with TSG. Remember, we saw what happened with TSG. They literally try to screw their partners over. They screwed over TSG. Why would anybody enter into a streaming bundle agreement with Disney? That is the most idiotic thing ever. What company would knowingly do business with Disney that has now settled a case where they were accused of fraud, and they said, you know what? Yeah, we might have done that. Yeah, we might be liable on that. We're going to settle this because we might be liable of fraud in Hollywood accounting. Maybe. You're gonna enter into an agreement with them? Somebody said the NFL. Listen, the NFL is this whole special. They're all special group of snowflakes. That's a whole. Okay, guys, there's a whole other stream. A whole other stream on the NFL. We'll do that. That's another one. By the way, speaking of idiots, Nancy Corinson, you're smart, Nancy, but Nancy asked a very important question. Off topic, where's the silver play button? Google is a bunch of idiots, because Google, I asked them again for my silver play button and they denied me. They could not tell me the reason. They said, I am doing something that is not advertiser friendly, which probably is I am telling the truth about Disney. That's probably what it is. So they said after 90 days, I can try again. I've been trying every 90 days for the past 6 months or more than that, 9 months or so. So I'm going to continue to try again, but I've been told that I'm doing something naughty. So because I am naughty, can you guys be nice to me and smash a like button? Also, make sure you're subscribed. That'll help me out as well. We are almost at 500 likes. And for subscribers, I am like teetering. I'm like so close at leveling up. Only need like a couple hundred more, also to break the trend upwards. So if you guys haven't subscribed and want to subscribe, really would help the channel out. Okay, let's continue here.
Advertising is increasingly being pushed as a part of streaming, right? I think getting back to an all-in bundle would be something that would be very good for both these companies and for consumers. And again, that's something that I think all the CEOs of all these companies, including Iger, have some recognition of, and I don't think they need an outsider to come in and tell them that.
Right. How likely is that then, Doug?
I don't know. These are all people who, you know, pursued a strategy for the last 5 years aggressively that I think hasn't worked.
Mm-hmm.
It can be difficult to admit publicly that it hasn't worked and change direction so completely. I don't know that I think it's going to happen this year. I think numbers across the industry will get better to a certain extent this year because of the price raises and because the spending on streaming content has slowed down. I just don't know if they're going to get better enough to get shareholders to want to embrace these stocks again.
So a little bit of soberness at the air where like he did admit that like he doesn't know it's going to boom, but that guy was just 100% shilling for Disney there in saying that, look, oh, well, this is something that's not specific. It's something Disney didn't do wrong. And I don't know why the shareholders have no say. What this little Billy the Beta is missing is that proxy battles are not just about winning the board of directors. They're to send a statement and get them to follow a certain direction. There are some things that Nelson Peltz has said are serious. Number one, a real dividend, not just some fractions of a penny. Number two, a real succession plan to get rid of Iger. Number three, returning to profitability and removing themselves from controversy, right? Number four, making clear disclosures and divisions about where money is being spent. Now, what could happen here, and this is one of the reasons why they settled their case, because they didn't want to open their books. I think Disney may have to have a real hard look at those books and say, we are going to need to clean these things up, because here's the thing. Maybe Nelson Peltz doesn't win now, but if Disney continues to perform poorly, eventually he's going to get those books and it's not going to be pretty for them. In addition, Peltz can go hardball and can publish white papers or other pieces of information that talk about specific failures and discourage other institutional investors from investing in Disney. So can get other folks to back out of Disney or otherwise damage Disney. That's very much possible. So there's a lot going on there, and Peltz has a lot more leverage than just board members. Putting out a scathing white paper that goes into details on the dirtiness of Disney, yeah, that could be bad, and he hasn't done that yet. It hasn't fully dropped, especially not the 2024 edition. Claybuster says Disney Plus only has as many subs because Verizon added it as part of the phone plan. Yes, very, very true. And let me finish this one article, and then I have a funny one, which I discovered today. So a lot of articles today, but these are all kind of funny. Among Iger's biggest challenges is getting Disney's streaming business in black and determining the strategic path forward for ESPN, which may include selling a stake in the sports giant to the NFL. So selling ESPN to the NFL. Well, okay. Well, now you're saying you're so desperate that you're selling off your assets. This is like, guys, this is like you're selling the Ferrari at the garage sale. Iger always proud. He was very proud of all Iger's acquisitions, right? Iger was the acquisition guy. He got Marvel, he got Lucasfilm, he got all that IP, even though, by the way, a lot of those negotiations did happen even pre-Iger. But that aside, Iger's the acquisition guy. Now Iger, in quote unquote term 2 of Iger, is going to be the sales guy. He's going to be the guy that he acquired a bunch of stuff, and now he's got to sell it all off to keep the lights on at Disney. You can see he's already selling off employees because he's firing people in mass across the company, lately in Pixar. But I don't think the firing is done yet. I think there'll be much more firing in 2024. But then you see here, the director candidates include Iger, Mark Parker, Mary Barra, Amy Chang, Carolyn Evanson, Michael Froman, Maria Elena Lagomazino, Calvin McDonald, Derica Rice, and all of these people have nothing to do with Disney's business. Remember, Disney was saying, oh, well, Nelson Peltz and the guy who he nominated they're not qualified, right? Peltz and former Disney CFO James Rasulo, the former CFO. They're trying to say that the former CFO doesn't know Disney, but yet, the CEO of Lululemon knows Disney better? How does this tell me how the CEO of Lululemon knows Disney better than the former Disney CFO? Tell me in what world that's true. Tell me what world that's true. It's not. Coca-Cola, JP Morgan, Target, that has nothing to do. Eli Lilly, CVS Health. This has nothing to do with Disney. These people, these executives brought on by Iger have nothing to do with that. And his latest addition, which is Morgan Stanley CEO James Gorman, once again, another Iger yes man. Which leads us to the final article today, which this one is so beautiful. And I actually want to give a special shout out. I normally don't shout out other channels, but I want to give a special shout out to Clownfish TV because I actually got this from these guys. And I thought I wanted to do a little bit more time in this one because this one was great. This is Is Dopey leading Disney? Carol Markowitz asks what Disney should do to win back the boycotters. This is a very a great article. And shout out to Clownfish for covering this. And I thought I would go a little bit deeper than they did, which is fine because they have shorter videos. Many conservatives have decided to opt out of spending money at Disney in the past few years. Today, political commentators and author Carol Markowitz asked a very good question. What would make you start spending your money again at Disney? Okay, so in the chat, can you guys answer me that question? What would make you guys spend your money at Disney? When would you change your mind about Disney? I want to know. Tell me in the chat. What would make you guys do it? I want to get a written response. Meanwhile, from the poll earlier, it looks like 65% of you prefer the AM Eastern Standard Time and 35% prefer the PM. So, of course, there are some that prefer PM, but the majority of you are morning folks, which is great because we have a huge morning crowd, 900 people. It's awesome. It's really awesome. And then on Rumble, we got 200. So we're over 1,000 on all these platforms. Awesome. Okay, let's see what you guys said. Fire Iger, Feige, Kennedy. 5 years of being a good boy. Bob Iger dunk tank. Filing Chapter 11. Nothing. Disney's starting to offer things I want. Let's see. They officially dropped DEI. A good film. Be old school Disney. Fire everyone. Hire good content creators. It's too late. Fire the entire staff. I never watched Disney stuff. No Iger, KK, and C. A time machine. You guys crack me up. Stop the woke. Abolish DEI. Get rid of the board. Exterminatus. Shout out. By the way, Warhammer 40K stream coming next week for my Exterminatus brother. I don't think I don't notice you guys. Senpai notices the geeks in the crowd. Dump the politics. When Disney puts the traditional family first. I love that. I actually, you know what? That's actually pretty good. It's actually pretty good. Okay. So that was the question posed here. If you're boycotting Disney, what would it take you for you to return realistically? They acknowledge that their wokeness affected their bottom line. They're never going to and apologize, right? What change do you need to see? If you're boycotting Disney, what would it take you for a return realistically? Hold on. For me, it's more about nickel and diming families in pursuit of dollars from Disney adults. I love it how even like regular folks are realizing that Disney adults are a thing and that Disney adults are ruining things. It frankly is pretty great. I think it's pretty great. And then goes quality programming. Stop making movies that suck and start making movies that do not suck. Okay. Good enough. as a local, I haven't been since the pandemic and won't return until fast passes come back. Probably never. My kids have no interest. They prefer Universal. And guys, this is what I hear time and time again, that people's kids are not asking to go to Disney. They're asking to go to Universal. And guess what? I haven't even talked about this yet, but when Epic Universe rolls out, it is going to nuke. It is going to absolutely nuke Disney World. And right now, you've got even more news that just has hit recently, that, and this is something that has been a perpetual thing, but it is back, that we got right here. And let me show you here. Pokemon and Zelda coming to the Universal Orlando Park. So now we've got rumors of Pokemon and Zelda coming to the Orlando Park. Guys, if Pokemon comes right now, I'm telling you right now, if Pokemon comes to Orlando, it's over. It is absolutely 100% over. It's RIP. Between Harry Potter and Pokemon, they're not going to stand a chance. They're done. They're done. Like, a Pokemon land will destroy everything. I mean, that is just the biggest thing ever. The merchandising from that, the profitability of that, to be able to cater to that, that's an infinite money printer. It's so hard to screw that up. Everybody loves Pokemon. I mean, literally, I think I showed you guys this on X. For Christmas here in Bangkok, the Central Mall had a bunch of Pikachus next to the Christmas tree. It's just done. It's just done. Yeah, there's like a Pokemon land where you can battle people. It's over. It's 100% over. So the change and an apology, they want to act like they were right all along, and nope. So, okay, they got to apologize. Acknowledgement of wrongdoing without repentance is an announcement of intention to repeat the offense. They don't need to do anything. I am the consumer. I need to patronize suppliers who respect me. No fake news, no Bug Light, no Target, no Starbucks. All of them are easily replaced. If they want to put out an entertaining movie without messaging, we'll see it. Wonka was excellent. If they had made Wonka, I still would have seen it. All they have to do is go back to putting out good content. Newer content, free of the obnoxious lecturing and not so subtle messaging. They're not good at subtlety anyways. Disney World costs at hundreds of dollars per day for the privilege of standing in line for 3 hours in an overcrowded park, charging $600 a night for Best Western class hotel experience. Guys, called out. And listen, I don't know if you guys have seen this, but a lot of the quote unquote nice hotels at Disney actually are kind of shitty quality. If you stay in the same cost hotel, let's say you stay at my former client, which I will fully disclose, Bonnet Creek. Let's say you stay at one of the Bonnet Creek resorts. Let's say you stay at the Waldorf, which you can stay at oftentimes for less than like the Contemporary or the Grand Floridian, right? Let's say you stay at the Waldorf. Yeah, your room is going to be a lot nicer than at the Contemporary, the Grand Floridian, for the same price. Real quick, thank you so much. $50 Super Sticker Leprechaun Gold coming up big with the explosive Shiba. Thank you so much. Thank you for the support. You are amazing, and I appreciate you so much for backing me up. DCV Titans for 5 says, there's no surprise. What entertainment has Disney promised children in the past decade? The only thing they've promised children is that they can transition if they want to in third grade or under, because that's the position they were supporting in Florida and so vehemently got in this entire fight about. Other than that, Disney really hasn't done anything for children. Oh yeah, they hired convicted sexual predators as employees that Grady Judd arrested. They've done that for children. I guess, yeah, they've done that. Okay, next here. I'd like to see them produce one movie or show for kids that doesn't include woke virtue signaling. I'm told right now that writers and producers believe that there's no point in even pitching shows that do not advance the woke perspective on things like gender and race. So the IT guy goes on and says, fire Kathleen Kennedy. Woo woo. Fire Kathleen Kennedy, baby. 2, Bob Iger retires. 3, scrap Snow White remake. R.I.P. Rachel Zegler. R.I.P. 4, make family-friendly movies. 5, reorient ESPN to just sports 24/7. This guy's pretty based. The IT guy is pretty based. I like this. Dude, if Grady Judd ran Disney World, someone in the chat said, imagine if Grady Judd ran Disney World, he would clean that up real quick. A lot of those folks would be gone. Phil Klein says, I think 90% of Disney's problems would disappear if they produced content that people actually wanted to see. I don't think woke is a bad business model because it pisses people off, but because it subordinates storytelling for the goal of wokeness. And guys, this is the whole thing. All these people calling us like horrible names, misogynist, sexist, racist, all this stuff. They can't write a good story. Just write a good story and watch. You know what movie forget about his tax evasion, but I miss Blade, right? Can we just go back to Blade? Go back to old school Shaft. I'm okay with all that stuff. Make a good story. I don't care what the gender of the person. I don't care if it's like back in Aliens, right? With Ripley. Make it good. I don't care. If it's good, I don't care the gender, but it's got to be a good story, and it's not got to be a story about their gender or identity being faced forward. Look at Echo. Echo is pretty much the most diversity points out there, and that thing is tanking like a wet turd in a swamp. Echo should, based on diversity points, Echo should be the most successful thing ever, right? Because it includes so many people. It's so inclusive. Echo should be winning. It should be so popular. But why is Echo not doing well? Because it's a crappy story. Because it's a poorly made piece of work. It's not great. And they're doing Daredevil dirty. And they're doing our boy Daredevil dirty. How dare they? How dare they? On Rumble, they say, I'd keep KK and force her to come in every day to get kicked. I'm just going to say to get kicked. If Pokemon comes at Disney, it would be in your kid's face. Yeah, Pokemon will not come to Disney. They will not make a deal. I will say they will never make a deal with Disney because they know what Disney would do. They would trans all the characters. All the Pokemon. They would say Mr. Mime is transitioning. It would be wild. Can you even imagine some of those Pokemon? By the way, shout out to Jonas J. Campbell, who says the main premise of Blade seemed to be, what if Shaft was a vampire ninja and the movie was better for it? Because it was about making it cool. It was about making it cool. Okay, guys, one real quick update. I want to give you guys an update on Seedy Creek. So obviously, guys, we're doing amazing on Seedy Creek. We're at 2,631. We got an amazing number of backers here. But a lot of folks with the Seedy Creek project have asked for a printed version. So I am meeting with somebody tomorrow. I have one of my fans, one of you guys, reached out to me about a printed version. I saw someone asking for a tabletop, a coffee table version. I am going to talk to somebody about doing it. My big concern with doing the printed version was I am not in the US, so I need somebody that I can trust that is able to fulfill that. I would never want to do something that could not be fulfilled, obviously. So when that comes out, it'll be available. And once we talk and we figure it out, it'll be a separate add-on. You'll still get everything you paid for, everything you rated, but it would be a separate add-on. It'd be a separate category. So that will be something that I'm going to discuss and may be coming shortly. So just stay tuned on that. I got to get some costs down, got to get some numbers down, but this week should have some news on that. So please be patient with that. And will there be other merch? Probably as well, but just give us some time. You know, I'm a one-man show, and then my artist, the Western Penman, is just one guy. So just be, sabai, as they say in Thailand, sabai. Will there be a European distributor? I'll have to talk with them about that because that's one of the things I know I'll get a question is shipping abroad. I know it might be expensive is the problem if it's shipping abroad, but I'm going to talk about it and try to get that out there for you guys. That said, guys, that's what I have for today. I did not think I was going to get an hour and 30 minutes out of all this, but there were so many articles today. I had to stream. I could not stream. Please smash the like button. We are at 611. We're almost at 650. So just smash it here. I wanted to do my anime stream, but this was more like pressing. So I do plan on doing an anime stream. The next one I will do is solo leveling. I want to watch episode 1 and 2 on Rumble. So I probably will be doing that over there for Rumble exclusive. Also, we'll probably have a locals exclusive as well. My next stream on this channel will probably be tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow night. So about the same time-ish tomorrow night, I am going to have a stream with Alan of Film Threat. So make sure to join because that should be really good talking about the D files. He is dropping the D, and we are going to get a lot of D from Alan, a lot of straight D from Film Threat tomorrow. So guys, please take care. Please be safe out there, stay based, and I will catch you on the next one.